Now, I have received quite a few messages from you guys talking about the situation with Cardi B and Offset. For anybody who doesn't know, Cardi B is one of my favorite female rappers. She's a Libra. Y'all know I love me a Libra. She often performs with Meg Thee Stallion and Aquarius. Love me an Aquarius. So, people have been telling me basically that the two of them might have broken up. There's some talk that maybe Offset had sex with Krishan Rock, which is Blueface's baby mama. So people wanted me to take a look at this and tell them what's really going on. So that's what we're going to do. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it to anybody and everybody who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get your own personal private reading done, email me or hit me up on social media. I will be so happy to give you a reading. All right, guys, underneath this video, you will also find my Patreon. What else is underneath there? Oh, I'm going to give you all of the links to the decks that I'm getting ready to use to do this particular reading. Let's get started. So first pile here, this is Cardi. This is Offset. And this is the outcome. So right away, we see Cardi. Cardi focusing on her money, and she's having a big FU moment, as we can see. She's sick of him. This is not the first time he's been accused of cheating. As a matter of fact, before they had, I don't know if it was the second kid. It might have been the second kid. They broke up then, and he was giving her all these flowers and begging her to come back to him online and all this extra stuff. And so basically she's tired. She's tired of him making her look like a fool. If you put your significant other out there like that, you making them look real crazy. And he even mentioned that in one of the messages to her, one of the so-called apologies. So she's tired of it. She's tired of him putting her out there, and she has decided to just focus on her coins and, you know, what she's trying to do with herself. He is the Two of Swords. So I have the impression from him that he's going to want to reconcile, because the Two of Swords is when you want to make friends. And that's usually what he does. He tries to get friendly with her, and then he tries to get her back into his life. So he might try back and forth some type of reconciliation attempts with that Two of Swords. Try to make peace, you know, try to ask for forgiveness, that kind of thing. But we all know he full of shit. This is what he do. He messes up. And a lot of men and a lot of women, I can't be sexist, a lot of people do this. They'll mess up. Then when you fed up, they all of a sudden promise you the world. They'll do anything in the world you want them to do to change, but they never really do. They just want you to let them back into your life. And that's really what this is. The outcome card is the Queen of Wands. So I don't think she's going to fall for it. I think they're going to go back and forth, because we're getting ready to see some more cards here. So I do think they're going to go back and forth. I don't think this is done. Because if you look right here, check this out. If you look right here, you will see this card is reversed, and his card is reversed too. So this card that she got reversed, I'm going to show it to you so you can see the picture. She got the Strength card reversed. The Strength card is a very sexual card. It doesn't have to be. It can mean a lot of things, but in this case, we're seeing sex and sexuality. And one of the things that draws her back to him, and has traditionally drawn her back to him, is that they have a very, I would say, innovative love life. And that's one thing that is going to draw her back to him. But it's not going to last. I'm telling you. You know how a couple breaks up, but they keep sneaking to see each other here and there? It's going to be that kind of scenario. They might even be open about seeing each other, or you might even hear about them or see them at dinner or something like that. But this relationship ultimately is going to come to an end. It may go back and forth for a bit, and then that's going to be pretty much it, because we see her here by herself. So eventually this passion that they have for each other is not going to be enough to keep pulling her back. And it's because you see him, he's reversed. He's the reverse Knight of Cups. When the Knight of Cups is reversed like that, This is telling us this is a person who uses romance, affection, gifts, all the stuff like that we've seen him do before. Jewelry. He gave her this beautiful ring one time, and I went out and got a replica of the ring. It's a heart-shaped diamond. Gorgeous ring. And so he uses these jewelries and these gifts and these things to pull a person in, but he's the Knight of Cups reversed. The Knight of Cups reversed only does that to play with your emotions, to play with your feelings. They oftentimes are narcissists, but they don't have to be. They could just be any type of emotional abuser. And the idea is to pull you in. So they love bomb you. They give you things. They give you roses. I mean, he gave her I saw the whole room was full of roses. Like, he don't just give her one single rose or a dozen. He gives her vases and vases of roses. And this is his game. He pulls you in with the charming shit, the Prince Charming lie, the Prince Charming fallacy. He pulls your behind in, and then once you're in, then he's going to abuse you. He's going to cheat on you. He's going to do whatever it is that his original game plan was. And I would say his original game plan would have to be emotional abuse, playing with your mind, things along those lines. So we see that is going to continue right here, and she's going to fall for it a little something, something, and then she breaks free. So we're going to see a little bit more with this couple, a little bit more ups and downs with this couple, but she's eventually going to break free. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is independent, often a very successfully independent entrepreneur. So I expect to see her continue to be successful. I think she's going to be fine. And I think he's going to keep doing what he's doing. We're going to keep seeing Offset do the same thing for years and years to come. Somebody told me Offset is a Sagittarius. So she's a Libra. If he's a Sag, this really makes sense, because oftentimes Sagittarius get accused of being consistently unfaithful. Let's put it like that. Now I want to see something interesting. I want to know about this situation with Krishan. I want to know, did Offset or is he seeing Krishan, or like what's really good, that's what I want to know. So now we're going to take a look at that. Okay. So let's look at these first. All right. So this is Offset right here. So this card right here is telling us that it looks like part of the reason how come Offset does the things that he does is a lack of self-love. That's what we're seeing here for him. So his whole deal is a lack of self-love, which makes sense, because a person who's an emotional abuser, a narcissist, and what I'm looking at him, I think he's a sex addict, and we're getting ready to see some evidence of that. So it looks like to me that it's all out of a lack of self-love. So Krishan Rock got in love with you. This is telling me that she did have sex with him, and maybe even more than once. When Blueface first said it, I didn't believe him, because Blueface is Aquarius. And even though Aquarius are not known for lying, we will lie. We will lie if it benefits us. And in this case, especially with him, because he's, in my opinion, like the worst Aquarius I've ever seen. So it looks to me like she does have feelings for him, possibly in love with him, puppy love, into him, whatever the case is. But it was only just a hookup. Like, this is not going anywhere. We're not going to see these two having happily ever after. It's either going to be one time or just occasional here and there. It looks like it's just a cheap thrill. I don't think it really was much to him. I think it was more to her than it was to him. Because it says here that she thinks he's hubby material. I can't see how, though, because he's married and cheating on his wife. So how he hubby material, Krishan? Come on, boo-boo. That's not going to work, baby. If a man is married and cheating on his wife, it's a very high probability. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's a high probability that you're not going to be able to work things out with him. And he's probably going to do the same thing to you. So she thinks he's hubby material. I totally disagree. I have seen him do things that a husband does. He plays the role very well, but he's not husband material in my opinion. But she actually, like I said, she wants to be affectionate with him. She wants to give and receive. You know, she likes him. It looks like to me, it looks like she really does like him. But I don't think this is really going to go anywhere serious. So, did he sleep with Chrisean? I think so. I think he slept with her at least once. At least, based on this card, at least one time. So, if you guys hear that Chrisean's baby, because now Blueface is saying the baby is not his, that Chrisean's baby is Offset's. I don't know. I didn't ask that question. I wouldn't go that far, but I will say these two have hooked up and may hook up more than once. And I definitely think that she's feeling him. That was unexpected because I thought that was going to be a no. I thought that was going to be a hard no. Now, what's going on with Cardi? Cardi is going through the dark night of the soul. Anybody who has been paying attention online, Cardi been snapping. Cardi has been snapping. I saw her crying, yelling, screaming, calling him all kinds of names that I can't repeat on YouTube. She went in on him. So they said she's going through the dark night of the soul. This is Cardi right here. So this is hurtful to her. She's not joking. She's not playing. She really does care about Offset. She loves him. Deeply. Deeply she loves him. And this shit has her just broken. You know, he's been playing in her face. You know, seeing other women, cheating on her, all kind of stuff. And it says here, Offset's problem is toxic addictions. So remember I said I think he's a sex addict? That's why I think the problem is right here. Because don't nobody need that much sex. Nobody needs that much sex. So I feel like he's a sex addict. And he may have other kinds of addictions. You never really know. Having unlimited money, unlimited resources, he could have all kinds of addictions. But I really do believe one of them is a sex addiction. And that's why he keeps on having these illicit affairs on not only just her. I hear that's his pattern. They both have feelings that they're fighting. Cardi loves him and would rather not be without him, but she knows that this shit is stupid, that he's playing in her face. They have a karmic connection too, oddly enough. I don't know if you guys, some of you already know about karmic connections, but karmic connections are when you have a past life connection with somebody. So they may have had a past life together. They may have been partners. They could have been brother and sister. They could have been, you know, father and father. Who knows? But according to this, they have a karmic connection. And this karmic connection is why you keep seeing them break up and get back together. It's hard to shake somebody when you have a karmic connection with them, because it means that there's some unfinished business from that past life. And if you can finish it, then you guys will move on. But most of us don't. Most of us meet that person, have a dysfunctional relationship with them, and keep on like kind of like a revolving door. And that's what we see with Cardi B and Offset. So that karmic connection, remember I said this was going to be over eventually, but not yet. This is part of why. Offset finds their relationship to be kind of, their relationship in itself is part of his addiction. So remember I said the sex addiction? So it's not just sex with other women, it's sex with her too. So this is what I'm talking about. He has the serious addiction, and it could be other things too, because we're seeing alcohol in some of these pictures, we're seeing cocaine, so it may be some other things going on, but this is what's fueling his behavior. Okay, now Cardi, they said, needs to be optimistic, because basically this is going to take a while. Like I just got finished saying, this is going to take a while to work itself out. It says here that she needs to be optimistic and has to keep an open mind. I don't think she's being very optimistic right now. I'm seeing more of a sad, negative mindset. The kind of mindset we all have when we're in a breakup, or if we got caught out there with our significant other making us look bad. So she has to become more optimistic, and hopefully as she heals, that will happen. We're going to see him putting himself first. And I've seen evidence of this. The other day on his birthday, he was out somewhere partying. Like, you going through this major situation, this scandal, you done devastated your family, and you out someplace looking good partying. So he's definitely putting himself first, and doing whatever it is he feel like doing. They need to be honest with each other. I get a feeling that there's dishonesty on both sides. I feel like they're not being honest about their feelings because the hidden feelings card came up earlier. They need to have heart-to-heart conversations and really talk about what it is that they want. But I don't feel like that's going to happen because I feel like he gets too much out of manipulating that Knight of Cups reversed. He gets too much out of manipulating her feelings and emotions. So I feel like that's the lack of honesty that's coming up in this relationship. Cardi's going to get a new love. Remember I said eventually this is going to be over. It looks to me like, okay, she's going to deal with this for a bit, and eventually y'all going to see Cardi with a new person. So that's why I said in a situation like this, I don't expect this to be over yet, but I expect it to eventually come to an end. They're on different paths. I don't feel like, remember when I said before, a couple has to have communication, a couple has to have shared values, shared goals. They don't have it. They are moving in two different directions. She's off doing her stuff. He's off doing his stuff. And in between somewhere, they keep getting pregnant and try to raise their family. In between it somewhere. But basically, they're on two different paths. So they need to be honest with each other and move on. But and they will do it, but we're just going to see a little bit more, and you all know how that is. Some of us have even been in that situation. I know when I first broke up with my baby daddy, we tiptoed a couple times. We dipped in each other's back doors a couple times until it was finally over. So this is not abnormal, but I just think that I'm gonna be happy when her new chapter starts. I want to see her with somebody new. This is obviously not the one. And lastly, Cardi will never be able to trust him. Ever. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he does. The cards are telling me he is never going to be trustworthy because he is never going to get whatever help he needs. And we're getting ready to see this. Because he's not going to get the help that he needs fully, she's not going to be able to ever trust him. He's always going to be doing some shit, you see right here, and it's always going to be like he's always going to be stabbing her in the heart. That's why I said I would rather see her leave him be and get with somebody else. This card here is about self-love. This is telling us that, remember I said one of his biggest problems was self-love? That's what all of this is about. This isn't about, sometimes women will say to me, well, my guy's cheating. What am I not doing for him? Am I not sexing him good enough? Am I not doing enough? Am I not, I don't know. Am I not ironing enough of his clothes? Things like that. And most of the time, the answer is no. Most of the time, the infidelity has nothing to do with you. But people, not just women, will internalize it like this is my fault. I didn't give my partner what they needed. And that shit is bullshit. Because a lot of times, especially when I talk to cheaters, they tell me that their partner is great. They tell me that their partner does this and does that. And I'm like, well, why do you cheat on your partner then? I don't know, Queen. I just like variety. I don't know, Queen. I'm just not monogamous is the answer. I don't know, Queen. There's something inside of me that is lacking. And that's what's going on with Offset. Offset lacks self-love. And because of that, he constantly needs attention from the peanut gallery. Okay? That's what happens when you don't have enough self-love. This card right here came up reversed. I turned it into upright because I love these big gals. They're so beautiful to me. And I wanted you guys to be able to see the pretty picture. But this card is telling us when it's reversed that it's going to be a continuing cycle. Look how they're going in a circle. When it's in the upright, it's a joyous circle. But when it's reversed, it's a circle that is a pattern, a revolving door. And what ends up happening with this particular pattern is it revolves a few more times before this couple calls it quits. Cardi wants consistency from her lover, and she's not going to get that either from him. He's always gung-ho when she threatens to leave him. Did y'all notice that? When she threatens to leave him, he's sending all these flowers. He's meeting her on stage. He can't get enough. But it's not consistent. As soon as she takes him back and things go back to normal, he's right back out there in the street being an F-boy. You know what I'm saying? So because of his lack of consistency, it's never going to be the right situation for her. He needs therapy. I would say psychotherapy. Let me move this card because this one is kind of thick. There we go. He needs psychotherapy. That's what this card is about, reflection. This card is about reflecting on yourself, looking inward. Remember I said self-love is the problem? Nobody can give you self-love but yourself. So he has to go inside of himself. He has to look inside of himself. And he has to say, you know what happened to me that makes me not love myself? And what can I do to change that? And once he does that, then things will begin to heal inside of him. So he needs reflection. He needs psychotherapy. He might even need some medication. I don't know. I can't diagnose him. I'm not trained to diagnose him. But I can say based on these cards, he needs some self-reflection. And he needs to go within and figure out what is really good. After that, he would be a whole different man. Problem is, I don't know if we're going to get that from Offset. I don't. Because none of these cards indicate somebody who wants to heal themselves. So more than likely, they will go through this cycle a few more times, maybe 3 more times. And it might not be in the public eye, though, because they might do this behind closed doors. Because this is the thing about celebrities. Some of the times, their business is very much out there, and we see it in the tabloids. And other times, they do it behind closed doors, and it's done and over with, like with Will and Jada. And I'm getting ready to do a reading on them, too. But they got separated, and nobody even knew. So some of the times these kind of things are behind closed doors, but eventually we're going to see the end of this relationship and we're going to see Cardi get with somebody else. So if you see Cardi hanging out with Offset or creepy with Offset or something like that, just know it's just part of the merry-go-round that has not come to a complete stop. Okay? All right, guys, you come back soon because I have a lot more to say. And don't forget to look underneath this video for all the cool stuff that I put underneath there for you. See you later.